the bikini girls that I was with at this last competition, all of them were really skinny. Um, and so when I was at the middle of them, I looked bigger than them, but I felt that my body compared to when I saw like some pros bikini was really nice. But because all the girls were really skinny, they took me out. Like they would not compare me to them, you
Yeah.
know, because the bodies are too different. And so that's what is difficult, you know, that you never know who's going to show up. And you could have like just five girls. And so you're going to place in the five first because there's only five girls. And that allows you to go, you know, a little higher into place. Or, you know, when at the last competition, we were like 22 girls, right? So, you know, it could be 22 good girls. And then you're still at the end because a lot of them are really good. But you know that's how it is, you know, and you just keep on doing, and it's really expensive. Like competing is
Yeah.
a lot of money. Like you need to have, you can't just like say, oh, you know, let me just see how I do, and I'm just gonna compete because, you know, between the suit and the makeup and the trip and the hotel and the registration. The last competition I did is $265 per category per class. You know, that's a lot of money. So you know, when you kind of got to be ready financially, you're going to be ready in your life. Like you got to be stable when you want to compete because you got to be so, you have to sacrifice so much that you cannot be like stressed out about your job and stressed out about your relationship and, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. So you know, with a good coach is, you know, should let you know when you're ready and when you're not ready to do a competition.
Yeah, I noticed that it's not just a physical sport; it's more mental, you know.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
yeah, if you don't have the money, it's like it don't make no sense. Like I
Mhm.
could never be a bodybuilder, you know. I've always worked out like
Mhm.
in the park, like maybe like once in a while. You know, I remember I had I got a friend, and you know he would take me to the gym, and it was once in a while stuff, but mostly it was like in the park doing pull-ups and or probably
Mhm.
even just doing yoga
Mhm.
and stuff like that, and or
Mhm.
just doing meditation stuff. But
Mhm.
bodybuilding, it's not like a sport. You know, I'm more like a fan of women, women, women bodybuilders and stuff. So, you know, and then like I would watch like some interviews about how the struggles that they would go through, especially like in NPC, like amateurs. You know, some of them they've been doing it for like 20 years or 30 years. They getting a pro card, and I mean that's not very easy. I don't think I would be able to do that because it's not for everybody. So yeah,
Yeah. But I think you really also have to kind of put your priorities in place. Like you cannot, you know, the woman that would put getting their card or becoming professional as a priority in their life, I think it's the wrong priority. You know,
yeah,
it's just not it's not worth it. Let's put it this way. You know, don't put that as a priority. Like, you know, you have your family, you have relationships, you know, and maybe then you put that as a priority, but not, you know, it ruined a lot of relations. You know, for me, I can tell you that, you know, I've worked on it, but when I was, you know, 10, 15 years from now, when I had my children, it did affect the way I was as a mother. You know, I mean, I would leave in the morning. All my babies, you know, I would be leaving in the morning for a couple of hours. You know, I was all my kids, I breastfed for a a lot of them for a long time. And I would leave and they would cry and cry. They would be with their father, you know. And it was hard for them. I know when I would leave, even if I would leave just a couple of hours in the morning, I didn't do it because I had to go and make some money. I did it because I wanted to go to the gym and compete. You know, is that a good enough reason to leave my baby crying? You know, it's like you got to,
yeah,
you know, ask yourself. You know what I mean? So I made decisions sometimes that were not good for, and even today, you know, my kids. You know, I have six children. I just had an argument with my 16-year-old daughter the other day, telling me like, she thinks I should be spending more time with her, and I'm like, when like I'm doing everything so that I can be home as much as possible. I don't go to the gym after work, right? So that I can be with you guys. I wake up at, I don't have to wake up at, I could wake up at 8. I start working at 9. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to be able to go to the gym, right? So that it doesn't take away from my family time. Like, why are you complaining? So even my kids bring up, even if I try to do my best, and I think she's exaggerating, even my kids bring up the fact that, I spend too much time at the gym, you know. And when I'm close to my competition, sometimes we have to go twice a week, twice a day. I mean, I have a gym at my house, I have a treadmill, so I try to do the most that I can if I have a second session. Um, I mean, they're so used, like, one time my friend was telling to my son, my 19-year-old son, look how your mom looks, because, my weight fluctuates a lot. I can go, high and I can go low because I know how to lose weight. And she was like, look how she changed, how her weight, how she lost weight. And my son looked at her and was like, Mom, I know. She was like, Raja, I know. Mom does that all the time. I know she can change her body like this, because they used to see me over the years. My body can change and I can shape my body. Everybody can do it. Like it sounds crazy to hear it, but if you put your mind up to it, you can build your body really, as long as you're very disciplined in what you do. So, and that's a good. It's good for my kids, because they learn, they know. uh my 14-year-old son was just telling me yesterday, said, Mom, I had a science class the other day, and we had a pre-test to know what we knew about nutrition. And I did the test and I knew a lot of stuff from what you had taught me already. And I was like, oh, that's cool. As much as I can, I take them to the gym if they want to train. Uh, Anytime they want to come with me, I'll come and I'll take them and I'll train them. But they're not really. My kids are into soccer because I used to make them play
Yeah,
soccer. So
they
they
still
play
young.
soccer. Yeah,
They
yeah.
still
So,
they still
but
they still
bodybuilding is good
young.
for any sports. It's an add-on. When if you have good muscle, it will help you for any sports. You know what
Yeah,
I mean? So everybody does weight training at a professional level when they play sports, or some type of, even if it's using your body or, it's and it's good for your health. Now today we know that lifting weights will help you live longer. It helps with your bones. It helps with uh, not just about losing weight. It's about also building muscle. Is what's gonna, make you live longer. So everybody, any ages, you can be up to the time that you die. You should do as much of weight training as you can.